What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going over my homebrew commander deck. Every card in this deck was a card that was personally in my collection when I created this deck. So starting with the commander, Shanna, Shisay's Legacy. So for green white, legendary creature, human warrior. Shanna's Shisay's Legacy can't be the target of abilities your opponents control, and Shanna gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. So this is a lands matter and a token creation deck. So either I get a bunch of lands out and I make big creatures with big mana, or I make a bunch of small creatures, so tokens, and pump Shanna with them. So that being said, here are my 10 favorite cards that I use in the deck. At number 10, a new card to my collection is Wedding Announcement. Wedding Announcement is a 2 and a white for an enchantment. Beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter on Wedding Announcement. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then if Wedding Announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it. And this transforms into a enchantment that gives +1/+1 to every creature, I believe. Yeah, creatures control get +1/+1. This is the pre-release one. I got it in my pre-release kit when I went to pre-release. It makes tokens, or if I already have tokens out, I get to draw an extra card. So I think it fit really well in the deck. I wanted to use a lot of newer cards in this deck, so that's why this is in here. I like it a lot. It can either pump your creatures that +1/+1, or you draw a card, or you make tokens. I like it. Really effective. It is number 10 in my 10 favorite cards in my deck. Number 9 is Felidar Retreat. For 3 and a white, you get an enchantment with landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. First option is create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token. Second option is put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. So either I'm making tokens to pump Shanna, or I already have a bunch out and I put +1/+1 counters on each creature I control, and they have vigilance until end of the turn. You get that free swing. They don't tap. It is so much fun to make tokens and to just benefit off of just playing a land. Definitely another one of my favorite enchantments in this deck. It is number 9 on my list. Number 8, Murking More Landfall, Prowling Felidar. 3 and a white for a cat beast creature with vigilance. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under my control, put a +1/+1 counter on Prowling Felidar. It is a 2/3. So you play this turn 4, then you play your land, you instantly have a 3/4 cat with vigilance. I found this card really stands out in this deck. It does a lot for not really being too expensive to cast. You can pick it up pretty much anywhere. I like this in landfall decks. It's a lot of fun. You can get a big cat creature that has vigilance. Every time you just play a land, it gets bigger. Really fun to use. That's at number 8. Number 7, Speaker of the Heavens. 1 white for a human cleric creature with vigilance and lifelink. Tap, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, and only anytime you can cast a sorcery. This can make tokens. It has lifelink. It has vigilance. If you play this turn 1, it is so much fun to use. I once almost won a game because I was just making angels with this. I would attack, tap it, make an angel in my end step, or make an angel in my second main phase after combat, and you just keep doing that. It's a lot of fun to use. I really enjoy it. At number 6 is Sereth the Viper's Fang. For 2 and 2 green, you get a legendary creature, human warlock. Other tap creatures you control have death touch, so when you attack with a bunch of tokens, and this deck makes a lot of tokens, they all have death touch. So if they want to block these little things, they better be ready to pick something to die, pretty much. And the other untapped creatures you control have hexproof, so they can't target them if they're untapped. And then pay 1 and tap her, untap another target creature or land you control. It's just really good for a token deck. When everything taps and attacks, they have death touch. It makes it hard to decide what they're gonna block. So you can either ping a lot of small damage, or you make them give up their creatures to stay alive. And this was from Midnight Hunt. Like I said, I wanted to use a lot of newer cards in this deck, so this is a fun one that I got, and I really enjoy using it. At number 5 is Fierce Empath. This is a card from Double Masters. It is 2 and a green for a elf. It is a 1/1 creature. When Fierce Empath enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 6 or greater, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. It is a tutor. It's a creature tutor. You get a big creature, add it to your hand, and green, you should have the lands to cast that creature either pretty much right away or on the very next turn. So a 3-drop that gives you a creature that tutors a creature into your hand that you probably need or probably want. A lot of fun right here. I really, really enjoy this card. Number 4 is Maja Bretagar Protector. It is 2 white, a green, and 2 generic. So pretty expensive mana cost. It is a 5-drop legendary creature human warrior. It's a 2/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. So you pumps all those tokens, pumps all your other creatures in your deck. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token, and it creates tokens with a landfall effect, essentially. This is exactly what I want in this deck. I enjoy having this deck. I don't think I've played it before, but just the thought of being able to use this card. This is a pretty new deck, by the way. Made it a couple weeks ago, finally finished it. I've play tested it a few times. I've played it with friends. I really enjoy how this deck, how the deck can synergize. So Maja, I think, is a great addition for this deck. Number 3 is Tauren's Fist of the Angels, a card from Crimson Vow. Like I said, a lot of new cards are what I'm using here. It is a white, green, and 1 for a legendary creature human cleric 2/2 with training. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green and white human soldier creature token with training. So training is when you, I'm pretty sure it's when you attack with a creature with less power, and that creature gets +1/+1. The creature with less power. It's something like that. It's either training or mentor. It's one or the other. It's either if they have less power or more power. But yeah, Tauren's makes, he makes tokens. If you cast a creature, he makes a token. Simple as that. I really enjoy using them. A lot of fun. Number 2, Skewed Swarm. How to use this card in this deck. 2 and a green for a insect creature 1/1. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. You control 6 or more lands, create a token to copy of Skewed Swarm instead. This can get huge out of nowhere. You can just keep on making Skewts, and they keep growing, and they keep growing, and they keep growing, and next thing you know, you have a gigantic army. Shanna just yesterday was about she was, I want to say, at 26 off of Skewed Swarms, human creature tokens, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, Skewed Swarm, a lot of fun in this deck. It makes just copies of itself, and those copies pump Shanna. A lot of fun. I really enjoy Skewed Swarm. Pick them up if you can. There's a lot of fun in a deck like this. That's token creation, landfall kind of stuff. And at number 1, my favorite card in this deck is Cultivator Colossus. I pulled this in the pre-release. I won my pre-release because of Cultivator Colossus. It is 4 and 3 green, so 7 mana to cast. This plant beast creature with trample. And Cultivator Colossus' power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. So in a landfall deck, you want this out there. When Cultivator Colossus enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. So because of this, you can continually ramp. And if you ramp with this stuff out with Prowling Felidar or Felidar Retreat, or Maja that when it lands the battlefield, or Skewed Swarm, you can make your board state absolutely stacked with Cultivator Colossus. I think this fits so well with this deck. I really enjoy using it. It is one of my favorite cards. I'm so glad I pulled it. I've yet to play Cultivator in this deck though. I can't wait to get it out eventually. I can get this out with Fierce Empath and get it to my hand. My favorite card in this deck is this card. Easily. Cultivator Colossus is my favorite card in the deck. With that being said, this is a new deck. This is a homebrew. I didn't look up any guides for this, so if y'all have anything that could potentially work in this deck or fit better, let me know in the comments. Because my card base is very limited. My card base and card knowledge is very limited to the past year or so. So anything that came out in 2021, I know about. I know about some of the 2020 stuff, but I only started playing this year. So my collection is a lot of the newer cards, a lot of the newer sets. So if I have anything that y'all think I should add to this deck, please let me know, and I will look at it. I'll try and add it to the deck, see if it works good. I do want to keep Shanna as a commander, though. I like a small commander that can grow bigger. So just going over it once again: Cultivator Colossus, Skewed Swarm, Tauren, Fist of the Angels, Maja, Fierce Empath, Sereth, Speaker of the Heavens, Prowling Felidar, Felidar Retreat, and Wedding Announcement. Top 10 favorite cards in the deck. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, drop a comment saying what your favorite card is, and make sure to subscribe. And you know, if you have any suggestions for deck builds or to add cards to any of my decks, please just drop a comment. I'm more than happy to look at those cards, look to add them. And with that, this is Freddy Inferno, and this is the Shanna Shisay's Legacy deck build, top 10 favorite cards, and I'll catch you later.